Hello, dear viewers. This video will talk about how Vladimir Putin, on his birthday, October 7th, visited the Peter and Paul Cathedral in St. Petersburg, where he laid flowers at the coffin of Peter the Great and talked with the rector of the temple, and also held a meeting with the commanders of the military groups who reported on the situation on the fronts, the press service said. Secretary of the Head of State, Dmitry Peskov.
Славен Бог наш, всегда ныне и присно, и во веки веков. Аминь. Святый Боже, святый крепкий, бессмертный, помилуй нас. Святый Боже, святый крепкий, бессмертный, помилуй нас. Слава Отцу и Сыну и Святому Духу, Ты еси Бог сошедший в ад, и узы окованных разрешивый, сам и душу раба Твоего упокой. Господи, помилуй, Господи, помилуй, Господи, помилуй. И Тебе славу высылаем с обезначальным Твоим Отцем, и Пресвятым, и Благим, и Животворящим Твоим Духом, ныне и присно, и во веки веков. Господи, помилуй, Господи, помилуй, Господи, помилуй, благослови. Живыми и мертвыми обладая, воскресы из мертвых Христос, истинный Бог наш, Государь, император и самодержца Всероссийского Петра Алексеевича, в селениях праведных учинит в недрах Авраама упокоит, с праведными сопричтет, и нас помилует и спасет, яко благ и человека любец, о блаженном успении, вечный покой, подашь, Господи, рабу Твоему, благочестивейшему Государю, императору и самодержцу Всероссийскому Петру Алексеевичу. Многое лето, многое лето, многое лето. На регулярную службу мы начали позже гораздо.
Dear comrades, let me remind you that quite recently, on September 30, we celebrated the Day of Reunification of the Donetsk and Lugansk People's Republics, Zaporizhia and Kherson regions with the Russian Federation. Residents of these regions voted overwhelmingly for their future as part of Russia, and this confirms that the decisions taken in February 2022 were correct and timely. Currently, the strategic initiative remains entirely with the armed forces of the Russian Federation. This year, we have liberated almost 5,000 square kilometers of territory, 4,900, and 212 settlements. The decisive role in this, of course, belongs to our soldiers and officers, who show the best features of the Russian military, such as selfless devotion and love for the motherland, a high sense of duty, military camaraderie, and military brotherhood. I ask you to convey my sincere gratitude to all the personnel for their courage and heroism on a daily basis. I would also like to note the crucial role of the country's military-industrial complex in ensuring the successful actions of the Russian army. Defense industry enterprises fully meet the needs of the armed forces in high-precision weapons, missiles, ammunition, weapons, and military equipment. Along with the planned deliveries, the development of new means of armed struggle and their delivery to the troops is progressing at a faster pace.
Противник, несмотря на попытки упорного сопротивления, отступает по всей линии боевого соприкосновения.
The enemy, despite attempts at stubborn resistance, retreats along the entire line of contact. And against this background, the Kiev regime, trying to demonstrate at least some success to its Western sponsors, is trying to strike at absolutely peaceful targets deep into Russian territory. It won't help him. and our task is to ensure the safety of Russian citizens, the security of strategic facilities and civilian infrastructure, including energy. At today's meeting, we will review the current situation in the Special Military Operations Zone, hear reports from the commanders of the military groups on the progress of the tasks you face, discuss current issues of providing troops and plans for the near future. Let's move on to the reports. Please, Valery Vasilyevich. Comrade Supreme Commander, the troops of the United Group continue to conduct active hostilities, advancing in almost all directions. The enemy has concentrated its main efforts on stabilizing the situation in the crisis sectors of the front in order to slow down our offensive. The North Group of troops operates in the border area, continues to solve the tasks of creating a security zone in the Kharkov and Sumy regions of Ukraine, and its units are also successfully advancing in the southern part of Volchansk. The Zapad Group completes the defeat of the enemy in the southern quarters of Kupiansk and is successfully advancing in the Krasno-Limansk direction. The liberation of the village of Yampol, most of which is controlled by our troops, continues. The troops of the southern group, despite the stubborn resistance of the enemy, are fighting in the cities of Seversk and Konstantinovka. The destruction of the blocked enemy formations in the area south of the Kleban-Bik Reservoir was completed yesterday. The most active hostilities are taking place in the area of responsibility of the Center Group of Forces, in the Red Army and Dnipropetrovsk directions. The Ukrainian command, trying to stop our offensive, deployed the most combat-ready units from other sectors, including from the strategic reserves, to these areas. Despite this, overcoming the enemy's resistance, the formations and military units of the Center Group are developing an offensive. Our assault troops are advancing in the southern regions of Krasnoarmeysk. A settlement north of Krasnoarmeysk is surrounded. This is Urdinsky, and it is currently being cleared of Ukrainian armed forces formations. The Vostok Group of troops continues to advance deep into the enemy's defenses in the Dnipropetrovsk and Zaporizhia regions. Since September 1, more than 200 square kilometers of territory have come under our control in this area. The troops of the Dnieper Group are advancing towards the city of Zaporizhia. Fighting is currently underway for the possession of the settlements of Primorskoye and Stepnogorsk. In addition, according to the plan of the General Staff, targeted massive strikes against military installations and facilities of the military-industrial complex of Ukraine are continuing. Priority is given to hitting enterprises producing long-range missile systems and unmanned aerial vehicles. Comrade Supreme Commander, the formations and military units of the United Group of Forces will continue to conduct offensive operations in accordance with the approved plan. The commander of the group of troops will report on the current situation in more detail. The report is finished. Dear comrades, our common task remains the same. We must ensure the unconditional achievement of all the goals that the troops face during the special military operation. Let's start this work and see how we are moving towards this goal. The first report is by the commander of the North Group of Forces, Colonel General Eugenia Nikiforova. You are welcome. After the meeting, Vladimir Putin shared a cup of tea with the generals.